The number one golden rule when you're identifying grasses is that if you're asked to look at a vegetative feature, you must look at a vegetative shoot and not the flowering shoot. So if you want to look at a part of a leaf, it's the leaf on the vegetative shoot, not the leaf on the flowering shoot. Very often people find that difficult to remember, but if you're doing one of my courses, I will remind you lots of times. Now, the question that arises from that is, well, how do you find a vegetative shoot attached to the right grass? And my number one tip is to make things as easy as possible for yourself. So look in places where the grasses are pretty separate from each other, rather than somewhere where they're all mixed together. So this is an ideal position. We've got several species here forming discrete tufts, so it's easy to see which ones are separate from each other. And there you just look at the inflorescence and you can see the vegetative shoot right next to it, and you're confident it's the same species. So I'll just recap about why you need to look at a vegetative shoot rather than a flowering shoot for these vegetative features. Now the reason is that in some species the vegetative features on the flowering shoot are different to those on the vegetative shoot. So maybe the ligule might be different. In some species the sheath might be open on the flowering sheath but closed on the vegetative sheath. And in the books and the keys, all of the features are based mostly on the vegetative shoots. So these tend to be more consistent, and these are what the keys are based on. Unless the book tells you to specifically look at the flowering shoot, you should always look on the vegetative shoot for the vegetative features. And the only other exception is if it's an annual species, it won't have vegetative shoots, so then you'll have to look at whatever you've got. So this is another quite good place that makes it a little bit easier for me to find the vegetative shoots. It's right on the edge of some bare ground, and there's just a few grasses growing together here on the edge. So it's a little bit easier than when it's more mixed up. Now, if I grab a grass and pull it out, let's see what happens. I've pulled it out and I don't have any leaves attached at the base. So a better way of doing it is to use a knife and actually dig the grass out. So I'll try that now. And this time I've got my leaves attached at the base.